Commercial real estate has gone crickets, but what's that mean for residential? Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on your hats and your glasses as we blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Well, why would we want to do that? Because they're tied together. Lose one, you lose the other, my friends. Throw a dart at an economic challenge map. We're hitting something threatening both as we speak. Yet, a lot of people have no idea of what we're talking about, my friends. Why? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you. Unless you've lived through and maybe suffered a little blowback in an economic downturn, you just have no idea. You've probably heard, people have probably heard some of the warnings going on out there, not heeding to the warnings at all. Everything is fine until it's not. Until it's not fine. Until you find yourself getting laid off from your job. Which is going to segue us into today's topic. Listen, friends, we've heat mapped and temperature checked a lot of issues threatening the real estate market. Why? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you again, because if we lose the real estate market, we lose everything. It's capable of delivering the knockout blow to the economy. But we're contending with so much more than the real estate industry right now. I think in the '08 era, the whole real estate's too big to fail was one of the narratives, and I can almost guarantee you whoever came up with that narrative, it's too big to fail, had financial gain in these markets. They had to cheerlead it, right? This time around, we have so many more things to contend with than residential mortgages. The whole it's too big to fail, and it failed in spectacular fashion. Until this bubble, it was the biggest bubble ever recorded in history. Well, we unfortunately exceeded it, depending on how you're looking at it. If you're halfway ready for this one, I think you're going to operate within this much more efficiently and hopefully come out the other end smelling like a rose. I mean, that's the thing. Unfortunately, the majority of the population will not. They just won't. It's the psychology of people and the psychology of sales, reverse FOMO, and herd mentality will rear its ugly head once again. And it already is. But like I said, one of the biggest elephants, and as we kind of monitored this whole stimulus era that we're in now, that will be talked about for years, it will rival the Great Depression and the Great Financial Crisis. This will be one that'll go down in history and be marked in history the way those two other recessions I just mentioned are today. Insane. So the realities are commercial real estate has gone completely crickets. We've had some slowing. We're flatlining basically is what's going on with residential. Residential has hit its ceiling. It's topped out and in fact reverse course. I see a lot of you reporting like it's still really, we're seeing an uptick in business. Yeah, that happened in '08 too. We saw a little slight uptick. We call it a dead cat bounce. It's not going to gain any significant height at all. But the realities are now what we're seeing, in fact, in commercial is completely the writing on the wall. It has gone completely crickets. There is zero movement in commercial real estate, zero sales to speak of, zero loans being written to speak of. In fact, that's where our problem lies today, or at least our challenge. Commercial real estate has an enormous amount of people leaving it, not re-renting it, subleasing it, or just shadow inventory in terms of empty office space and retail and hospital, everything. Everything commercial is in trouble. Even apartment buildings now are starting to get in trouble. Why? Because people speculated on these elevated rents that are now softening as well. So the apartment buildings that people paid a premium for aren't penciling out anymore as well. Throw a dart at a commercial real estate map, and everything you hit, every last metric that's measurable is in massive trouble. But the bigger elephant in the room right now, my friends, is that people don't seem to understand how this is correlated with residential. This is just going to be a needle on the haystack, but a pretty big needle, and I'm going to explain to you, and many of you, it'll make perfect sense on why. How this has an effect on the residential real estate market is a couple reasons. Well, for one, of course, when commercial real estate goes, which it's doing, it's going to cause a credit crunch and it's going to cause economic slowdown for the economy, which isn't good for any of the markets, real estate, anything else, any of the financial markets. It's going to take a bite out of that apple as if we needed it. But number two, and probably the biggest one that's threatening, how commercial is threatening your house and mine right now as we speak. Whew, insanity, this stuff. Jobs. Every single office space that goes empty means a job went with it. This whole remote work climate is not going to be able to sustain itself. Companies now are throwing people overboard. The office space is going now. Jobs, we know about the layoffs. They're all attacking the white-collar wage earner jobs, these types of jobs, where service sector jobs at the moment are available. But they're going to be, flipping burgers, part-time. The jobs are evaporating in spectacular fashion. So as commercial real estate continues to get attacked and it's not making a comeback, the loans on these buildings are becoming due and they can't refinance them, of course, and back into the rates that they were in prior to them coming due. So it's imploding. And as it implodes, what's going to implode along with it is the job market. And we've talked about this. It doesn't matter. I know one of the narratives, just like the too big to fail in 2008 narrative that people wanted to push, the narratives now are, well, because these people have a low interest rate, a lot of people refinance or they bought with this low interest rate, therefore, they're not going to sell. Well, yeah, they won't sell until they have to. Like I said, if you have 0% interest, but you can't even make your payment because your job's no longer there, you're done. Some of them will go out and take 2 or 3 blue-collar wage-earning jobs to maybe earn what their white-collar job was. But that's on borrowed time. Because you see, after the job market gets attacked and these commercial loans start to implode and people's discretionary spending starts to suffer and contagion gets ushered in, the few part-time burger-flipping jobs that are available now are going to start going away as well. Not to mention AI now being ushered in, replacing employees even in those sectors, as they don't even need cashiers anymore. You have to place your own order at a kiosk. They're not adding jobs even in that sector. So everything right now is under extreme attack. If you're new, subscribe right away. It's never been a more important time to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron, acknowledging the elephant in the room. If and when this happens, you're going to halfway expect and be able to operate within it more efficiently. Many people, millions, the majority of the population, not only in the U.S., globally, don't have any idea of economic booms and busts. And if they do, they've never suffered and had to climb out of a bust cycle before and learn their lesson. Most of them drank the Kool-Aid in this one, wanted to believe the narratives. It's too big to fail. This time is different. Loans are stronger. Job market's robust. Economy resilient. Inflation is transitory. We're going to have a soft landing. Only a correction. It's all continuing to progress and stack up like dominoes ready to fall. It's better to be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. Our job is to be ready. Evaluate our financial fitness, our risk tolerance, and then go act accordingly. Not all in the casino climate that the stimulus era created. It was so short-sighted. I wanted to believe it was real too. Had a moment of clarity, had to turn on this camera, even as a real estate industry guy that continues to have to navigate the waters as a real estate professional. I talk to people every day. Just got off the phone. Another buyer dropped out. Just got off the phone or just met somebody. Hey, I follow you on YouTube. I work for Chase Bank. I'm a financial advisor. Everybody now is predicting recession in the bank. It's on. A year ago, before interest rate hikes, you were a crazy person to talk like this. And this is what happened in the last financial crisis. Even one of the guys I listened to, I don't know about you guys, Peter Schiff, predicted the last five. He's getting a bunch of screen time right now, getting invited on to shows because he predicted the last one, and they laughed at him. You pull up 08 interviews with Peter Schiff, they laughed at him. They're not laughing right now. In fact, take a look right now at this tweet or post he did on social media. And then we're going to meet back here to wrap this one up. According to its recent minutes, the Fed no longer expects a soft landing, but a mild recession. What makes the Fed think the recession will be mild? Normally, the Fed doesn't forecast any type of recession. So if they can actually see this one coming, it'll probably be massive. There you go. So Peter Schiff kind of hit the nail on the head. The federal government is now predicting mild recession. Remember just a while back, they were predicting inflation was transitory, and then the cat got on the bag on that one. Then they started pushing the narrative of, well, we're going to have a soft landing, that the economy is robust, or job market's robust, and the economy is resilient. Now they're predicting mild recession. And like Peter said, right now it's time to preserve your wealth, protect it. People aren't concerned about dumping it into euphoric cryptos and try to get rich overnight. No, they just don't want to see their money evaporate. So it's now all about wealth preservation. So if and when the time comes, we get to go shopping for discounts. And that's why this show, like I said, if you're new, subscribe. This show, I'm going to show you how to get into real estate with very little amount of money, with very little risk tolerance. Just looking at the fundamentals, standard amount down does at today's interest rate, is its cost to carry less than its rent range. If it can pencil out like that, we should be making offers. If we don't have enough money to shop in our areas, we need to get partners. In a lot of areas, you can own a house for less than you're making a payment on a car. Even a cell phone in some areas. Insane. Your cell phone plan for your family is probably more than what you could pull a mortgage right now for a cheap house somewhere that somebody's not interested in, then stick a renter in. Those are the things that we're looking at now. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history will pop. Commercial real estate is about to pop it. We're going to see the biggest commercial loan default wave in history. It's knocking at the door as we speak. The only people that are going to be able to operate within this efficiently are the ones that are awake right now, acknowledge the elephant in the room, and insulated themselves. Those are the people that are going to do fine in this. Many people are going to take some lumps in this one. It's just the way it is. I wish there was some way I could sugarcoat it. I took lumps in that one in 2008. I don't regret it anymore because of what I've learned, but I certainly don't want to go back and repeat it over again. That would be the definition of insanity. So today what we're going to do is we're going to move forward. We're going to insulate ourselves. We're going to diversify ourselves. We're going to start looking at properties. We're going to see if they pencil out, and then we're going to muster the strength and courage when everybody's leaving to go in and buy these deals. So I'm going to be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you, or you can simply reach out at ScottWaltersRealestate at Gmail. We will find you there. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.